Hello, guys. It's
Hi
Tanisha
guys,
Sellers
I'm Carolyn Reed, and we are doing production request
for
presentation
presentation
2.
two. And our research question is Jenna is turned down for apartment lease, and she believes it's due to religious discrimination. She sues the apartment complex. In order to prove discrimination, she has to show that the apartment complex treated her differently than folks of other religions. So Jenna sends the production request asking for copies of all the lease applications submitted over the past 10 years, including any supporting documentation, and a list of the apartment complex's decisions for the application. The apartment complex objects, claiming the request is overly broad and unduly burdensome. Does she get the records? So first what we did was went to Westlaw and we changed the jurisdiction to Kentucky. And after we did that, we typed in production requests and we got results of 437 cases. We chose this case of Walmart stores versus Dickinson. Okay. And in this case, Rule 34 controls the substance and procedure for requests for production of documents. And the request places a duty on the party responds to request for production of documents. The duty is stated in Rule 34.2. Okay, and down here it states that the fact that the documents requested must be relevant to the subject matter involved in pending action, and the documents requested must be described with reasonable particularly before the duty is triggered. Okay. And that's the case we have is Southern Financial versus Com. And in this case, we found Rule 34 that the trial court did not abuse its discretion in determining that the information that the credit, life, and disability insurer was ordered to disclose in discovery from its agent lenders in class action against the insurer. And basically, all information at issue pertained to loans that were insured by policies sold by agent lenders, and all information sought related to the insurance potential liability on their policies.
And we found another case that also had production requests under Rule 34, and this was Edward versus Hitman, 237 Southwestern 3rd Edition, 183, page 192, the Kentucky Supreme Court in 2007. And so it says that a party control over documents as basis for requiring the party production of the documents during discovery is defined not only as possession, but as the legal right to obtain the document requested under upon demand, and that's under Rule 34. In conclusion, again, Jenny is turned down for an apartment lease, and she believes it's due to religious discrimination. She sues the apartment complex. In order to prove discrimination, she has to show that the apartment complex treated her differently than folks of other religion. So Jenny sends production requests asking for copies of all the lease applications submitted over the past 10 years, including any supporting documentation submitted along with them, and a list of the apartment complex decision for each application. The apartment complex objects, claiming the request is overly broad and unduly burdensome. So our question, again, legal question is, does Jenny gets the records? So we say yes, according to Civil Procedure Rule 34, any party may serve on any other party a request, A, to produce and permit the party making a request or someone acting on his behalf to inspect and copy and designate documents, including writing, drawings, graphs, charts, photograph, phono records, and other data computations from which information can be obtained, translated, if necessary, by the respondent through detection devices into reasonable usable form. And so, based on the Rule 34, Jenny can get the records. Thank you, class.
And
Our primary sources came from Kentucky Rules Civil Procedure 34 01-2, and also Walmart Stores Incorporated versus Dixon, 29 Southwestern, third edition, 796, page 804, in the Kentucky Supreme Court. Another case came from Southern Financial Life Insurance Company versus Combe, 413 Southwestern, third edition, 921, page 929, Kentucky Supreme Court into 2013. Our final case came from Edwards versus Hitman, 237 Southwestern, third edition, 183, page 192, Kentucky in 2007. Thank you, class, and that concludes our presentation.